Okay, I'm going to try to get some video of this, but it's a little colder out today than I was hoping. As you can see, I have started pulling on the chassis, and I'm doing it in the safest and most professional way possible. I have it hooked to a Highlander. Um, yes, I know that the tow hook down there probably isn't designed for this, but I haven't had to put much tension at all on that to get it to start pulling. I mean, you can see it when I put my foot. I don't know if you can tell, but it doesn't take much to pull it. I've already got the top part pulled back a little bit, and you can actually see that it's flattening out up here. And that was kind of my goal, is if I get this pulled back out, and then I'm going to come under here and just hook and pull this back out, and then I think I might reinforce the front of this with like a little piece of plate or something. Might not even do that, to be honest with you. I might just run, I was going to run just a piece of angle in there to fix this bottom part. So that's good. I've got that pretty much sorted out. And this over here, I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to try to get this bolt pulled back. And like I said in my other video, when this got pushed over, this whole area kind of went in with it because of the spot welds. I've double and triple checked. The steering box area has not been damaged, thank goodness. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to get a piece of 1/4-inch plate, and they sell it pretty cheap at Sears. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically make like the C-Rock brace, kind of. I don't know if I'm going to catch any of the steering box bolts right now, but what I'm going to do is put it across there and run like a 1/2-inch grade 8 bolt with a nut and try to pull this back out that way. I tried my slide hammer and it just doesn't have the guts to do it, because this is close. If I get this pulled back out, none of the metal's broken. I still might, like I said before, I might put like a piece of angle in there because I got some nice angle, and I think we're all right. I think I'll be able to bolt the bumper back up to this without a whole lot of trouble. This is a problem. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to handle this, but I'm in the process of getting the radiator out right now. So we're going to do that. I got a new radiator for it. So I will update in a little bit after I hit on it with this a couple times. I'm just going to give it a couple whacks here. Yeah, that's working. That's working nice. Just to get it back into shape, and I think we'll be in good shape. I'm going to check it real good for, you know, cracked welds or any other damage, but I think we'll be okay. It's getting there. It's almost back straight again. If it weren't for this weak area here, we'd be all right. Then it's time to start bolting some parts. Be back in a bit. Okay, I got the front. Now the front's kind of ugly still, but I still have a little bit of work to do there. It's a little bit, but the main thing is I think I got the top pretty decent. Rad's out. This is straightened back out. I don't think it's leaking, and I'm starting to straighten this out. What I decided to do is I just have this big heavy piece of angle and I have it running straight back, and I have a bolt with a bunch of washers, and you can see it coming out. It's going to be loud. Now the bolt hole, I have big fender washers in there, so it should be that big area. It's back where it's supposed to be. Sorta. Making good progress. Got the new radiator in. Got the AC condenser bent somewhat back into shape, and I'm pretty sure it's not leaking. That's antifreeze from where the radiator broke over here. And I got it all lined back up. The top piece actually didn't seem like it got damaged, so I'm okay there. That bolted right back in. I got the new fan shroud in, and anybody with Jeeps, Cherokees, or any other Jeep, I don't know if somebody just was not thinking or what, but these bolts, man, for these plastic, both the radiator shroud and the electric fan, got this little head, and it's going into plastic, so it sinks just a little bit, and there's already not much height to the bolt head. So getting a wrench on them, it ends up being impossible, especially on these with these loops. So I put washers underneath of them. Figured why not while I'm in here fixing stuff. So I dry fitted the bumper. I don't know if I took video of that or not, but I dry fit the bumper. This is still a little ugly, but the bumper bolts and this bolt are on the same plane as the rest of the rail now. So I think for now I'm going to leave it. I'm actually going to buy a C-Rock. I bought steel. I bought a plate of steel. First of all, it's 1/4 inch thick, which is way overkill. Second of all, I could catch these two lower steering box bolts, but then as you can see, I wouldn't have a whole lot of meat left to catch those two holes. At least I think you can see it. My phone will focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it all back together, and I'm going to order a C-Rock steering brace. If you don't know what that is, most of the Jeep guys will. It basically, I think it's 3/16, and it catches all 3 steering box bolts, and also puts a bolt back through this hole that goes all the way through, and also catches your bumper bolts and ends right here. It's not meant for, like, you know, all it really does is it braces up your steering box real good, and in my opinion, I feel like that's the main point of it, but it also beefs this up. Some kits do both sides and they use angles here. For this Jeep, it's not worth it, just to shore this up, because this is obviously weakened, and you know, if anything ever happens to this Jeep again, it's gone. I won't even bother fixing it. So I might just order for the 90 bucks. I might just order it, get everything lined up. So I did take the bolts out today because this thing, steering box spacer, I'm sure a lot of you Jeep guys also know about this. It was broken, and I knew it was broken when I did the steering rebuild on the front end, and just didn't replace it. So this is I put a new one of these in, or a good one anyway. So right now we're hoping that we can get the rest of this lined up reasonable. I'm starting to take the fender off. The fender, you know, it was pretty bashed up. I might have been able to ding that back out, but I got that new one over there. So I'm gonna pop this off. I'll probably take a quick video to show what that's like, but it's real easy. They're all Torx heads, which is weird, but all along there, a couple on the door jamb, couple on the bottom, and then there's one hidden one. One of these, this one, is this is the flare backer that has like little studs that go through. This one actually also attaches the fender brace, which goes from here-ish across, that keeps it from moving. So you got to take that off. So let's see what happens. And now we got the fender off. Piece of cake on these Jeeps, man. Came right off. The only thing, those two in there are real easy to get. The only thing that's a pain, I wish I would have paid attention to where this went. I think that this just sits, I mean, I see the indents of the, I'm drawing blanks. Oh, you know what? It probably goes like that. Yeah, it goes like that. All right, so cool. I'm gonna have to figure out how to keep that there. That's what the off-road guys, that when we trim our fenders and get rid of the flares, we use pull noodles to replace those, because stuff will kick up and come right in your door jamb. So here's the old one. I don't know, you can see it, but even from here where the damage is, right there. That's why I wanted to get rid of it. Something occurred to me that I am gonna have to pop the cap off of there, since this came from a limited and it's nice, and I'm certainly not gonna repaint the rest of them body color. She's also missing one here, so it's all bent up and out of shape. So I'm actually going to see if I can get a set of them. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe I'll try to peel, and they're all falling off, so maybe I'll just take them off and we'll shave it. anyway, next video should be me putting the fender on, or having it on. I don't have my tripod, so you're not getting any in-progress shots, only updates. I'm running out of daylight, but it's looking like a Jeep again. Got the header panel. Actually, the fender is on. That thing was a piece of cake to line up. I still have a little bit of a misalignment there. I don't really care. I will fix it this spring, because I'll probably be taking it apart to kind of do a couple more fixes if we're going to keep it. So, but anyway, so the hood fits. The hood gaps are good. The header panel's installed. I had to get some fender washers for some of the nuts that hold onto the studs on the back of the header panel, because they were pulled through this cheap aftermarket fiberglass. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. The rest of the Jeep isn't perfect, and it's hard to tell right now because this half of the Jeep is filthy and this half is like freshly clean, but it does match up quite nicely. See, I got the lights working, the headlights work, everything works. And I have my grill to put in. I already filled with coolant. I already purged the system as best I could without driving it around. Started right up, no problems. Of course, the motor in this thing never was a problem. I got some flat black spray paint, and I'm gonna hit this well, I should have done it before I put the header panel on, but I wasn't thinking. But I'm gonna hit it in a few spots just to kind of hide that nastiness from behind the grill and keep some of this from rusting. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get the bumper in right now. It's obvious it's much easier without the header in place, but I kind of had to put the header in place before messing with all that. So we will see what happens. It's looking good though. Not too shabby. Not too shabby for a guy that doesn't do body work ever. She's missing the Jeep emblem. I'll have to steal it off this one if I can. Let's see if I can get it off of there. I think I can. So bumper time. Well, it's going to be nearly impossible to see, but I'm finished. Went kind of quick towards the end there. I had to do some creative bumper mounting, and it's still not perfect. Funny enough, the side that was really damaged is pretty good, but the side that wasn't damaged, I need to do some alignment work. You can see the bumper's out too far. The bumper bolts were so rusted, and they have those little keeper clips which were falling apart, so I just did the best I could, got it on there. It's solid. Looks cool with the fog lights, which it didn't have before. I kind of dig the black grill, so does my wife, so we're gonna just like leave it, pretend like I did it on purpose. Fender's on. This light is going to make the paint look weird. Like if I move it over here, this is going to look darker than the door. If I move it over here, vice versa. I got my gaps even. They're that big on the other side. It's just the way Jeep's got big gaps. Body line lines up nice. You can see the stripe though. I actually like that single stripe, but I'm probably just going to wipe them all off. There's that painted versus unpainted. Again, it lines up nice, but we'll see. So yeah, this aftermarket header panel is basically a piece of crap. I'm so glad I didn't spend the money and buy a new one. All the mounting holes are weird. It's obviously really cheap compared to the other the OE stuff. But again, this Jeep's got a lot of miles. It's old. It doesn't owe us a penny. But at the same time, I think this looks pretty good considering what I just did in the dark and in the cold. It's pitch black. I finished up in the pitch black like most of my projects. Usually end up going longer than I want. So, but anyway, that just about wraps it up. I wish I could have taken more videos, but just couldn't work it out. So maybe I'll take a video in the daylight after I do some tweaking on it or something. I don't know. I got to test drive it to make sure it runs all right. It's been sitting. Thanks for watching.